Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Talk Real podcast. I'm your host, Tanyelle. I am here with some amazing guests. I'm so excited. Please introduce yourselves. Who's going to go first?
I don't mind going first. I'm Princess, radio host, poet, body empowerment speaker, and a whole heap of other things. But yeah, that'll do.
Yes.
I feel like the pressure's on me. Mr. Dirty Skanks, whichever you want to call it. Artist and director, as well as host of Dirty Debates live show. I'm sure we'll get into I'm sure we'll get into the rest of it a little bit later on.
My name is Sean Blackstock, and I'm an actor.
Fantastic. Thank you all for being here. So excited. Okay, so who wants to tell us about themselves first? I want to go for you, mister.
I'm under pressure today.
Yes, I'll go for you, mister. So tell us about yourself.
So I've been somewhat entertaining for about 20, maybe 21 years now. I started obviously doing the music stuff first, obviously growing up in East London, doing grime and whichever else it is. So started writing as a youngster. And it's kind of just developed into other little bits as I've got older. So I say I've always wanted to do other bits of music. Even as a kid, to be honest with you, I've always wanted to be that guy that could sing a little piece as much as I know I can't sing. I wanted to be that guy a little bit. So I've always been heavily into entertainment, to be honest with you. And as it's kind of grown as I've got older, things seem to be happening where we're here 20 years later and I'm not necessarily focusing on the music as much, but we're now doing hosting of live events and having conversations with people and kind of working things in a different way. But it's working and it's doing its thing, man.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. So what inspired you to start music?
Do you know what the music thing was more of just... there was a transition of energy that was happening in East London at the time, to be honest with you. Remember, it was garage when we was all younger, and then people started using the MCing thing, to be honest with you, where it was a bit more cool to be an MC. Whereas, remember, everybody else was older in garage. They were inside, one sense. It wasn't necessarily cool to be an MC as a kid, but when it sort of changed, then people started seeing things like So Solid, Roll Deep, and whatever. It's just about, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I want the side port in the border. I want all of these things as well. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it was one of those things that I kind of wanted to be in with what was going on, to be honest with you. And I kind of got the energy of, the best MC in my crew sort of thing. And from there, it just kind of built this confidence. And we're here, man. It's crazy to think that I'm a lot older now, when the first time I had a song on radio I was like 17.
Okay.
With Choice FM.
Amazing.
Me, Wiley, and Nole, who's now in Top Boy.
Yes, she's a wicked
first
artist.
ever release was with Wiley and Nole. And I was 17, and some guy come up to me in Bagel Bite in Shepherd's Bush. Ain't you? Are you sure you heard my song already? So like that one. But it kind of pushed me at that moment to say, do you know what? You've really got something going on here, to be honest with you. And that was around 17, 18. And from then, it's kind of become a career more than just wanting to MC in front of the mandem, so to speak. So
Okay, so well done on you winning Best Dirty Debates, an award for that. Well done. I'm literally tuned in to every Dirty Debates you do. I'm literally tuned in. I'm come off the phone. I need to watch Dirty Debates. It's amazing. I like how you engage. You're very respectful. You're very positive, and you touch on topics that we need to that need to be spoken about.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm a fan.
I appreciate it. Like I said, it comes from a place of, and I say it every week when I'm on the show, it comes from a place of me wanting to be educated more than me just trying to, I'm this articulate guy who knows it. I don't know everything. I ain't got no PhD in nothing, to be honest with you. But I'm here to be educated, and if I can shed a little light and shed my experiences and let people know that it's all right to be vulnerable a little piece, and it's cool to, you know what I mean? Just be yourself for a little bit. Then if I can push and advocate for that for a little bit, then...
Well, can I say something? I feel like when it comes to when people say sometimes you need to be even a lot of great even Richard Branson, all of these greats, none of them you know, a lot of them are dropouts. Do you see what I mean? To be greatness is inside you.
100%.
Do you see what I mean? So I just feel like each of you are amazing in your own right. We're all amazing. Do you see what I mean? And like I said, with you, I just feel like there's something within you that is special. Yeah, that you are literally you're just shooting to the stars. Literally, what you do is amazing because you're becoming a role model now. Do you see what I mean?
That's what I'm slightly scared of.
Why?
If I'm being honest with you, it's something that I'm slightly scared of. It's a major responsibility to be a role model. I'm somebody who's still learning. I'm making major mistakes still. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you become a role model to people, somewhat people blame you for how their child may have turned out and all of these kind of things. If you look at society now, the internet is raising most of people's children.
Yeah.
But do you know what I'll say on that? Do you know the ironic thing is I was thinking about this on the way here in the car, and I was thinking because I was listening to a song and I was like, I like this tune, and I was thinking, but is this a positive song? And then I thought to myself, but isn't artistry or doing what you do and being on your platform and being just an authentic person, isn't that what it's about? Being authentic. Like, none of us are perfect. None of us have completed our journey. None of us have completed our learning, right? So isn't that just being the epitome of an authentic, genuine person, being like, I'm here, I'm on my journey, and
I agree with
this is
you.
where I'm at.
I agree with you, but the scary thing is, especially for me as a black man these days, you put your foot wrong these days, and people want to. I don't care about this cancel thing, but people are quick to throw you under the bus for one mistake, and they will forget everything that you've done over the past how many years in trying to put yourself better, try and make other people better. And one mistake that you make, I'm almost scared of being famous now. Like, I don't want to be famous in any capacity. If I can help and collect my check in silence, then I'm there for it. I'm afraid of it now because, again, it's almost like people are not allowed to make mistakes, to be honest with you. So for me, like I said, if I can help Charlene from Ealing, Tony from Scotland, here and there from Monaco Live or whatever else it is, then so be it. Because I know that I've done things to upset people. And like I was talking about trauma books yesterday. And writing your name in people's trauma books and not realizing these things. Do you know what? It's so surface level you wouldn't even realize. Now, say for example, we go through life and we connect with people and all of these kind of things, and sometimes you do things to people or you upset someone and you kind of move on and crack on with your life, not realizing that you've kind of wrote a note in that person's book and it may change the person or shape the person they become. You've kind of cracked on, and I've had things happen to me, which has kind of made me realize, do you know what, I need to change how I move forward. And this is part of the reason why I do Dirty Debates, whichever else it isn't. I don't get paid to do it. When I do the events, all these events that I've been doing, they've been free. Do you know what I mean? These little pampering sessions, it's not for the sake of me earning money. I'm trying to do something to give back and balance out some of the shit that I've done in this world. Do you know what I mean? I've not been the robber or the killer or whatever else it is, but I understand that I've potentially shaped, especially women, I've potentially shaped some of the people they've become.
Sound like you were a previous Gallus in your past life.
I've been there. I'd be lying to you if I sat here and said to you that I've never cheated or nothing. I'd be sitting here and I'd be lying to you. But again, sometimes these things spin back in a licky, and then you realise, hold on a minute. You know what it is? It takes for me to get bun once, and I realised, hold on, I just had flashbacks of every woman that I've ever upset in my life, and I realised, again, but in saying that, I still make mistakes, to be honest with you. It doesn't mean that I'm the perfect person today because I'm aware of my behaviour. Because I say that I'm aware doesn't mean that I'm not going to make the mistakes anymore. It just means that I'm trying to do better and I can see it now. That's what it is more than anything else.
Mistakes are meant to happen so that it can shape us.
100%.
So I mean, like, I feel like life is just a whole learning curve. We're meant to make mistakes to shape us. Do you see what I mean? And 100%. Some people's like, that's why I don't feel like anyone should feel like they're above mistakes, because no one's above mistakes. Do you see what I mean? We're meant to make mistakes. That's how we learn. Yeah. Do you see what I mean?
Of course.
So, Yes, and put me onto my. You actually answered one of my questions, yeah, because I want to know the name Dirty Skanks.
Oh,
Why did you pick that name? Innit, we want to know. We want to know.
It wasn't picked, you know. Do you know what? Like I said, it came from. All right, cool. Let me break it down. So
We're
it
out
was
for ear.
Skanks before it was dirty. So I
Okay.
was just called Skanks before. When I was young, when I was like 11, 12, the Missy Elliott videos had my head. Like, to be honest with you, when I was a kid, you know, like music, make it lit.
Yeah,
you know, the
come
body
on.
popping. So I used to copy the videos and whatever else it is, but I was actually quite good.
Yeah.
So they, your Skanks are quite hard.
Okay.
Hold on, I like that.
I get it.
So I
I
took
get it.
Skanks.
Yeah.
But then the dancing thing wasn't cool. By the time you hit 13, 14, it's like, hold on, it's either you're dancing or you're MCing, bro. You can't be dancing or MCing. It's one of the two. So I started MCing and it just, the Skanks name stuck. But what then happened was the slang changed. Oh, wow, that flow's dirty, or that lyric was dirty. Dirty Skank.
Yeah. fair, yeah.
Okay.
And that's where it came from, to be honest with you. And as I got older, the Skanks thing, people usually have this, Skanks is that when people hear the word Skanks, or they think of a woman or someone who's loose or a crook or whatever else it is, so I was like, I might have to change this one a little bit. So the dirty will keep. Mr. Dirty, you can think whatever the fuck you feel like. Do you know what I mean? That's entirely up to you. I ain't changing this up again, to be honest with you. So that's how we ended up with Mr. Dirty in the end.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Okay. I did have another question. Sorry, one second. Okay, so I want to ask you, what is your biggest lesson that you've learned, like in the music industry?
In regards to the music industry, I would say do it your damn self. That would be the biggest lesson. I've attached myself as a youngster to certain people. If you kind of have a look at my work and my catalogue, you see that I've worked with the likes of the DWs, the Skeptors, to the JMEs, the blah, blah, blah. I've been around near enough everybody who's been a predominant force now. I've worked with at some stage, whether it be a grime set in a studio, whether it may be a film, whatever it may be, I've kind of worked with these people. And one thing that I kind of regret was somewhat getting a little bit complacent and not pushing and making sure that I'm always doing for myself. Not the fact that I'm around this person, because again, perception is everything in this music thing. The fact that I'm around this person, you're going to take my music a bit more seriously now. If I'm just my man from the high road, you don't really respect it. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of understood having a level of exclusivity was important. So not just being about and everywhere was a massive thing. So for me, I don't know, like, even now, like I said, my whole goal in regards to music has changed. Like I said, I really wanted to be the guy. I don't anymore, to be honest with you. I really just want to make really, really good music and be respected for good quality stuff. And if I can get 2,000 people to come and sit down and watch I don't need the O2 anymore, to be honest with you. Before I did. But if I can get 2,000 people to come and really, really, I'm cool, man. I'm really, really good with it, to be honest with you. So, that's kind of where I'm at in regards to the whole thing, to be honest with you, in regards to music.
Okay. So, what advice would you give to someone who wants to get into what you're in now, regarding the...
Put your head down and do it your damn self. There's a lot of opportunities for you to create yourself now. Like I was saying a bit earlier, remember we was talking about creating opportunities for yourself. Whereas beforehand, you might have had your budget with a camera or whichever else it is, but where you go with it after that was a maze. If you didn't have the money to do certain things, you couldn't necessarily do it. Whereas now, you can do it from home. You can get on the YouTube. You can go and speak to this person, email that person, and it's not strange for a random person with 15 followers to go and email a company. You know what I'm saying? Go on your TikTok and all of these things that me personally, this TikTok thing, I can't get my head around it.
Me neither.
Up to now, I still don't have a TikTok. I can't.
Really?
Me. Do you know how hard I find it? Not even hard I find it, but doing dirty debates is enough. All right, live, I sit there and I've got to sit here and talk to this camera. Pretend that there's people in this room talking to me. I've got to sit here and read the comments. And it's so, like I said, if you ever watch the show, you'll realize that if I don't have someone come on the show, it will be a short show. I can't do this sitting here and talking to the camera with a ring light in my face like I'm doing makeup tutorials or something.
Princess is the queen of ring lights.
A ring light,
This is what I'm saying. So advice, I would literally just kind of really advise people to just push, believe in you, man. Don't wait for people to believe in you. And if
Yeah.
you're waiting for your family and friends and your cousins, they're going to be the last people to pick up their wallet and buy something from you. To be honest with you, understand that. The sooner you understand that, the less room you will leave for disappointment. Your target audience isn't your auntie, your mother, your cousin, your brother, your brethren.
Yeah.
The random person from Newcastle upon Tyne will buy your CD before your auntie will. So understand that, be motivated by that,
100%.
and you'll be perfectly fine, man. Just crack on.
Definitely. You have an event coming up.
I do. I
Don't
got
you?
two. I got two events.
Can you
coming
please
up.
tell?
So on the 12th of November, so I run a pampering session business. So what I tend to do is we hire a nice space, a nice venue. We get a masseuse in or somebody, a beautician of some sort, a caterer. So you'll be West Indian style meals, whether vegan meals or whatever it may be.
In it. We should go in it. Look at your weird colours.
So here it
Yeah.
goes.
Sounding interesting.
100%. So you come down, you get yourself either a facial, massage, whether it be neck, shoulder, and back. Wood therapy. You know what wood therapy is? So wood therapy helps with like fat reduction and cellulite. And all these kind of
No,
things
but
and
no,
whatever else
no.
Is it really?
No, I was about to ask you, is that the one when I see them slapping as well? I was like, no one's going to slap
that
me
they
with
do
no
when they're trying to
stick.
crack
No,
their
no, 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 no.
every
It's not
tape.
no slap. There's no slapping of sticks.
And they
in
look
it.
red afterwards.
No.
Are you
no.
sure?
I'm sure.
He's
It's
like,
not
what's
that deep. It's
No,
not that
it's
deep.
truly.
It's not that deep. It's not that deep.
Okay.
No. But you can have a tutor with therapy stuff. You can get massage. You can either get foot spa stuff done. There's a few different things you can choose from. So you get yourself a meal, West Indian meal, choice of a treatment, and you get free prosecco all evening with some exotic fruits. and
When is
whichever
this
else.
event?
Yeah.
This Saturday. This Saturday.
Is it this Saturday?
It is this Saturday between 1 o'clock and 8 p.m.
Okay.
Yes, I'll send you the details. I'll give you
Please
the
do,
details.
please do.
Um,
I'm trying to think how to fit this.
And it's
I
a
want
lot
my
cheaper.
Prosecco and my slapping.
How much do you pay? Do you know what? I've got a question, ladies. How much do you lot pay for your nails? If you used to go and get your nails and feet done,
20, 25.
nails and feet, for
No,
25
not
25.
25 each.
23.
Yeah, 25 and 23
turn.
Each?
Yeah. Yeah.
Each, okay.
So 25 for nails and 23 for
23.
feet.
All right, so for £35, you get the food, you get the treatment, you get the free prosecco, you get the fruits, and you get a gift bag.
Ooh, what's in a gift bag? Thank you.
So
Isn't it? You want to know?
25% off sex toys,
Oh, okay.
free rum punch, a Dirty Debates keyring,
Okay.
and a little cone sweets, and whichever else it is.
Yeah.
So a few little bits, and it started from just doing some appreciation stuff for some women who I know that had been through some stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
through different situations, and I kind of wanted to put something together, to kind of show my appreciation for them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
did that. Then we done one for Black History Month. Both events were free, and it's kind of just taken off and turned into this thing now where people kind of want to go there. It's small. It's not massive. It's limited to 30 people. So it's a chance for people to come and meet new people
Yeah.
who are going through similar situations. A lot of the people who are coming to this event are mothers who have children with disabilities. So ADHD,
Oh, yeah, we know someone. Yeah.
ADHD,
Okay.
cerebral palsy, all of these kind of things, epilepsy and whichever else it is. So mothers that can't really get the break too tough all the time. A few of them are coming from those kind of backgrounds. So we kind of come down and just meet people, be around people that are going through situations that are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So little things like that. And then we've got Dirty Debates Live on the 20th of November. 20th
That's
of November. So
amazing. It's amazing what you're doing.
yeah, we try, man.
honestly.
We try. Just bring the just create spaces for people to feel like they can be themselves without all this social media malarkey, without feeling like I need to go and buy a Dior jumper to go and talk to a woman. Do you know what I mean? It's long. And yeah, man, like I said, I encourage women to come on the show with your head tie, put on your little bonnet. I don't care. No, do you know what? I encourage it because it allows you, when you glow up, then I can, babes, I appreciate you. Do you know what I mean? So we're human beings, man. It's not
Yeah.
every day that. So this is what I'm just trying to do. That's just my thing.
How can people help support these amazing movements that you've got going on?
Just buy a ticket ever so often. That's all I can ask. If you know that your friend's going through it and you can
Yeah.
afford to spend the £35 and your friend is free, buy the ticket for your friend. It doesn't buy me a house, to be honest with you. It doesn't in any capacity. Like I said, it costs me more than anything else.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you want to support your brethren. It gives me a smile when I see people walk through the door. To be honest with you, there's no crazy financial gain for me. I do it because I catch a feel good from it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like I'm balancing out some of the shit that I've done in my life. That's all I'm asking for.
Well, just
That is
let
it.
people know where they can find you.
Oh, well, everywhere, Mr. Dirty, D-U-R-R-T-Y. You know, people try to do the traditional dirty. No, dirty, with a little to it. Yeah. D-U-R-R-T-Y on the Instagram more than anything else. But yeah, man, I'm here.
Okay, get to following him,
100%,
guys, and
100%.
supporting, and please get those tickets for Dirty Debates as well.
100%, 100%.
Okay, so I'm leaving you last. It's my
Okay,
sister.
no.
It's my sister.
That's
Yes,
all these
sir.
things. That's fine.
On to this amazing, talented, who's my friend, who's his sister's one of my good sisterins. Okay, so in terms of the acting, what inspired you to be an actor?
I think first starting out, I think a couple of individuals probably inspired me, like a couple of actors. Will Smith was kind of one of the mains that inspired me, saying, wow, I see a lot of similarities in his personality. And I wasn't really like in school academically, you know, I didn't enjoy. I went to a boys' Catholic school in Harrow. Do you know what I mean? They didn't do drama. Like there wasn't a lot of options for me. And then I thought, let me just try and do drama. I didn't have any expectations of where I'd go with it. I just thought I'd try it. And then it kind of kicked on from there, really. And I luckily got a couple of professional jobs. And it hasn't been easy, but that's how I kind of got into it in that sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was it something that would you go back
Go back where?
to Hollyoaks? Would you do that again? Or
No,
are you
so-
looking to broaden your horizons?
If I were to kind of talk to my agent into what I have in terms of telling stories and stuff, all the stuff you watch on Netflix and Amazon and Apple TV and Disney and all this kind of stuff that really gets people is loads of like, I don't know, everyone watches different things in it, but you watch like crime documentaries, you know, you got stuff like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, yeah, that's a bit mad.
got-
That's
you've got
mad
loads
right
of-
there.
It is.
Who watches that?
It is,
Who?
but
Yeah, it's all mad.
I would love to challenge myself and play like all these loads of different kind of roles. I'd love to play a lawyer. I'd love to play a doctor. I'd love to play someone that has been brought away from my children. I'd love to play, I know it's going to sound a little bit like mad, but I'd love to play a murderer. I'd love to test myself and just really play like characters. I want to be an actor.
Really just challenge
100%,
yourself.
yeah.
That's what it's about. That's what, because I've obviously studied acting
Yeah.
in obviously uni and in college, and it was like I did Woman of Troy.
Oh, yeah.
I did that, and it was very challenging. But I'm glad. I like to challenge myself.
Yeah.
I'm my biggest critic.
Yeah.
To myself, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm my biggest supporter, and I like to just test myself.
Yeah.
So is it that you just wanted to just prove that you could do it?
It's not even that. It's if you're, I mean, same with you with your music. If you're comfortable all the time,
Yeah.
you're not living to your full.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely
Can I
not. I
ask you
feel
a
it's good to
question?
be
Pushing yourself.
uncomfortable.
Can I ask you a question? As an actor, are you, me as a black man anyway,
Yeah.
as a creative, are you not bored of what comes out of somewhat of our generation in regards to film, TV series, whichever else it is? Are you not bugged by it? Because it seems like it's very, very one level. Or it's either with the bad guy, the robber. And to be honest with you, I'm not blaming society and the hierarchy and all of this nonsense, because a lot of the time what I'm seeing now is we're creating films and it's the same crap.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's, and when I say crap, I don't mean to knock anybody's thing when I'm referring to the Top Boys or the Blue Stories or whatever else it is, because they're high production stuff to me. But in regards to the story, I've seen it 50,000 times already
Yeah.
on my television, and there's no difference. To be
Yeah.
honest with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So does it somewhat irritate you in some capacity as somebody who wants to do way more diverse stuff, and it just seems like this is all that's coming from us in regards to this type of media?
It's interesting. I mean, I remember that adulthood kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know, 2006 kind of
Yeah.
thing. It depends on what you watch. I think loads of things have been coming out more so where black actors are kind of doing loads of different kind of roles. British actors, again, they're going out to America and they're
Flourishing,
doing,
yeah.
they're doing stuff out there, like actors like John Boyega, Damson Idris
Yeah.
from
It's
Snowfall.
amazing.
He's,
You know,
he is.
all these kind of actors that they're you know approaching it from a different perspective, but it just depends on what you watch. There's loads of different kind of stories that are being told, more so now than what they were before. That's why I don't really kind of watch, you know, certain things I might not enjoy. Certain other people might enjoy it, but I think they're starting to be a little bit more broad compared to how they were before. There's still a long way to go, and there is stuff where you're watching, it's like, oh, I've seen that before. But there is other stuff where it's starting to kind of, the floodgates are starting to open a little bit more so than what they were before.
Yeah.
And it's a good time to be, you know, a black actor, you know, with what's gone on, you know, you know, with, you know, how it is in America with you know, social justice and all that kind of stuff. It kind of brought out more opportunities for us, you know. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I remember that stage. It was boring, you know, typical drug dealer or whatever have you. And I don't look like that. I don't fit those kind of roles anyway.
Yes, you do.
I was saying to you earlier, I was saying to you, you're one of those people that I feel like you could play several different roles.
Yeah.
If you wanted to put on the tracksuit and be the road man, you look like somebody who could pull it off. If you wanted to grow out your beard and be somebody who's from the Middle Eastern part of the world or whichever race it is, you could pull that off. And I think that's a great thing to have in regards to somebody who wants to be diverse. Having a diverse look is extremely important.
It is.
You know
I guess before, if I were to have an audition for Top Boy, for example, what I don't have in my favour is that real grittiness that you get with another actor. Where before they even speak or before they even say a line, you can look at them and be like, right, okay, this guy looks like he's, you know, I can believe that he lives in the streets kind of thing. Yeah. Whereas me, I'm not saying I have like a clean cut look or whatever, but I look as if, I don't know, obviously I can make it believable, innit? Do you know what I mean? But those kind of roles, they just never kind of came to fruition.
Again, I feel like,
do you know what I mean?
This is what's boring.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but I don't know. The actors that I love to watch, I mean, do you know, like Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, like Matthew McConaughey, bloody Halle Berry, all these big, I love roles where you can watch actors and you're like, whoa, like they're really going for it. Do you know what I mean? I can see that they're uncomfortable. Do you know what I mean? I can see that they're going out their means, they're going out their way. They've lost weight for this role, or they've gone through a lot for this role. They've changed the way that they walk, and they're changing their demeanor for this particular character that they're playing. That's something where, I feel passionate about, rather than being, when someone's in their comfort zone, it bothers me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And they say that I feel like we're meant to be uncomfortable because that will make us move and to get stuff done. Because when you're comfortable, everything will just become stagnant. You see what I mean? Because you're okay. Yeah. So I feel like it's good sometimes to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. If you want to be an actor, being in your comfort zone, you know what I mean? You can't be like, oh, sorry, I don't really feel comfortable doing this. So you're in the wrong business. Kind of.
Even for, I think, is it who lost weight for a role? Was it or put on weight? Was it Will Smith or is it Ali? Is it for Ali?
Loads of different actors lose weight, shave their heads.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, all sorts. So it's what you got to do at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what wins you do. Give it your all, definitely. So if you wasn't acting, now what else would you have done?
What's that? One of the questions you got?
Go away.
I don't know. I love football. Not even from the position of like, you watch football and you support football. I like what it does for society. So when the George Floyd thing happened, a lot of footballers before they started the game, they went down on one knee and they kind of represented it. I like what it does to society in terms of the LGBT community as well. It raises awareness, and obviously I love the game as well. I love just the technicalities of it. I love football, so I probably would have done something down that realm, or I don't know. It's all these if and buts. What else would I have been in? I don't know. But that's an interest that I do have. But yeah, I actually don't know. Like
really?
if there was anything else I could do. I always try. You're always trying something else when you need to take a break from something. Anything else I've done, I've just been like, I miss picking up a script. And, do you know what I mean?
Bless you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't worry. You're gonna get many more roles. Okay, hold on. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, what did That's what I was going to ask you personally. How was lockdown for you, and what did it teach you?
So in 2019, prior to lockdown, I nearly got a role in EastEnders. I was quite close to getting it, and I didn't. And it was like a thing for me where mentally I was in a very difficult place, and it kind of told me, it's like, maybe this isn't for me. Like, do you know what I mean? Maybe I should just be doing something else. You know, if I can't get on EastEnders, for example, then maybe this industry isn't for me. I was in that headspace. So when lockdown came, it kind of came at a nice time because nothing was happening. So I was able to heal.
Okay.
You know, I was able to kind of just take a break, not go out for roles, and kind of get my confidence back, in a sense. When I first started acting, I'd walk in the room and I'd be so confident. I'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I know I'm good. But then after that kind of period happened, I was kind of the opposite. Do you know what I mean? I lost a lot of kind of belief. I got really kind of too critical of myself. It's good being self-critical, but sometimes being self-critical to the point where like nothing you do is enough. Do you know what I mean? You think everything you're doing is just not good enough. I was at that point. Do you know what I mean? So lockdown kind of helped me heal myself, because mentally I was in a difficult position, and my friends and family helped me a lot at the time. But it's what the industry can do to you, man.
Well, you're amazing.
Thanks.
You are amazing. Just wanted to tell you that. You're amazing. And you're amazing. Get to you soon, my darling. Okay, so what advice would you give to anyone who, in terms of like casting, would you say that casting was easy for you? That is my last question for you. Casting, yes.
So one of the, what you got to enjoy as being a creative or being anything you do, you got to enjoy the process to get there. I mean, if you don't enjoy the process to get wherever it is you want to go, you're never going to kind of end up getting. I know it sounds so cheesy, but you got to enjoy kind of grinding. But what you got to do now in auditions is you got to take a lot of self-tapes where you record yourself, and then you obviously send it off. Whereas before, you know, back in the day, you used to like meet people and be like, hello, my name's Sean, and you used to in-person auditions. When this whole self-tape thing came along, I was like, what is this? Like, how am I meant to like meet people and like bring myself across if I'm sending in a tape? It doesn't make sense. But you gotta learn how to kind of use things. You know, you gotta learn how to adapt to whatever's thrown at you. My advice to actors ought to be just whatever makes you who you are, make that stand out. Don't try and follow something or someone. Don't try and sound like. So I'm not going to try and sound like Will Smith. Will Smith isn't going to try and sound like Denzel. Leonardo isn't going to try and sound like, you know, so on and so forth. Bring what you have, do you know what I mean, in terms of your own personality, and just be brave enough to kind of make decisions. What I've been doing recently, I'll shut up in a minute. What I've been doing recently with my auditions, when I have an audition, I read a script. You have all these lines and you read a script. The script is just text. That's all it is. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Text shouldn't get in the way of your characterization, the way you say the lines. Exactly. It's just a piece of information. That's it. Leave it as that. And you got to bring in your energy. You got to bring in your soul to these words that you're saying. Do you know what I mean? If there's a line and you're like, oh, I can't say it like that. No, they might think I'm crazy. No, you read a script based on who you are and where you're coming from. Do you know what I mean? Take risks. Do you know what I mean? Take risks. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather send in an audition tape where I've taken a couple of risks. I'd rather a casting director be like, oh God, no. Or be like, yes, rather than be in the middle where like, Sean is okay, we'll keep him in mind, you know? I'd rather than be like, no, or yes. Do you know what I mean? I'm ready to kind of like take risk and kind of be a bit more bold with my character choices and stuff. Stand out, do you know what I mean?
100% stand out.
Can I quickly ask?
Yes.
Have you had performing arts training? Have you done anything like that?
Yeah, of course. So I've trained at a place called Identity Drama School. You went Identity? Yeah, I went in like 2009. Yeah, they're good. They're awesome. They've made like they've had like so much success. The guy that owns it, Femi, like he's a massive believer in God. Femi,
yeah. That's my son's name.
Oh, really? Yeah.
One of my son's names.
Yeah. He's a massive believer in God. They've done well. There's another technique that I'm learning. It's called the Meisner technique, where it teaches you to kind of get out of your head and focus always on the other person. Because when you're acting, you're always thinking about what you're going to do next. You're always thinking, how can I make this interesting? How can I get a laugh? Yeah. Or how can I do something in order to kind of like gauge my audience? And that's the opposite of what you should be doing. Do you know what I mean? Because in conversation, I'm not thinking, how can I say something for you to kind of I don't know, you just have to kind of let it come from within.
Yeah.
If you're in your head and you're acting and you're doing something, you shouldn't be in your head. It should come from instincts. If you're going to do something, just let it come from your instincts, because we all have instincts as human beings. Do you know what I mean? But our brain blocks them because they're trying to protect our sanity, isn't it? But yeah, that's my own personal.
Okay, so tell everyone where to find you.
Where to find me. So I've recently done an episode in the BBC for doctors. I played a guest lead as a teacher. So that episode is on BBC iPlayer. It's called Crossing the Line. So you can get at that. And my Instagram name is Sean Blackstock. Yeah, get at me, man.
Oh, follow him too, guys.
Follow me up.
Okay, now back to the diva. Mrs.
diva.
Rin. Yes, to be ready for you. Oh, thank you for coming on, sis.
Oh, come on, man. It's an absolute pleasure.
Okay, so I want you to tell everyone who you are. Oh. Tell everyone who you are.
I got to right in our mics for everybody to hear me.
Yes.
Sorry, babes. I come with my bad behaviour. I know.
Let me behave. Everyone's probably trying to look at her.
Let me
Don't
behave.
try it.
No, man. No, look. Okay.
So tell everyone who you are.
So my name is Princess. I'm a host. I host a radio show, Empire Radio, Sundays, 11 to 12.
Every
Cheeky
Sundays, guys.
Yeah, I'm a poet, a mentor, I'm a body empowerment speaker and coach. Yeah, amongst loads of other stuff.
Okay, so what inspired you to get into radio?
Do you want me to be really honest?
Yes.
I was just asked.
I'm
I'm a tart real. I was asked. I was asked. Someone approached me and said, "Do you want to be on this station?" I don't know anything. My brother is a DJ, but aside from that, I don't know much about radio at all. But I was like, "Yeah, man, I could do that."
You're a natural. Yeah, you are like that is for you. Whenever I see someone in radio, it's you nail it, sis. Every time.
Darling, love. Do you know what? I just have fun. I'm so unapologetically myself. Yeah, there's no airs and graces. There's no frills and all that faff. I'm just myself, and yeah, and I just love it. And I want people to come as themselves. And yeah, just share themselves a little bit with me. And that's what I love the most about it, really.
Definitely. You're doing amazing.
Oh, thank you, sweetie
She's
pie.
interviewed. Who have you interviewed recently, girl?
Recently, I had Jay the Exodus on from The Voice. I've had General Levy, amazing. I've had Stilo. I've had the Noise and Banter girls, Nads and Reams. They're absolutely amazing.
Big up to our sisters, big up Reams and Nads. You get me?
Yeah, I've had a plethora of amazing guests. Yeah, it's been awesome.
Bless. As soon as my sister, because this is my personal great friend.
love.
As soon as she comes, I just have to share it straight away.
And I've had the amazing Tans. Not to forget the amazing Tans. I've had you on my show a couple of times, haven't I? Because you've been doing amazing things, and I've got to support you.
This is about you
time.
now, girl. It's about you. Get back. You. Okay, so was radio always what you've wanted to do?
No, babes, not at all. I love acting as well. I've been to the Amazing Identity. Awesome. Do you know what Identity did for me? It made me find myself again, like remember who I am, like, and the essence of myself. Like, I'm a naturally really playful. I'm quite childlike, actually. I'm forced to be mature in this world. Do you know what I mean? But if I had a choice to live my life, I'm playful. I'm childlike. I like to just enjoy. I like to feel. I like to. Do you know what I mean? And in Identity, we could run and jump. You know how it goes. I'm literally play. Do you know what I mean? They'll make you do crazy stuff, like pretend to be this animal or that. Do you know what I mean? And it just brought me back to the essence of myself. So yeah, acting is an amazing thing. I'm sure I'm going to go on to pursue that at some point as well. But yeah, I'm just on my journey of exploring my creativity. I've got a lot of avenues that I can go down because I'm really multifaceted. But do you know what it is?
Amen.
I need to learn discipline. I'm learning the art of discipline. I didn't realize how important discipline actually was until about 3 or 4 years ago. where I think it was Will Smith, and he was like, discipline is self-love. And I was like, what? Because I've always associated discipline with just doing things I don't want to do, really boring, really tedious. But when I heard it like that, I was like, yeah, to love yourself enough to do something consistently, to love yourself enough to eat the right food, to love yourself enough to like chase your goals like relentlessly. Rather than just being a free spirit, because that's what I am. I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do that today. I'm going to, do you know what I mean? That's what I'm like. But then I thought, do you know what? Discipline. I love myself enough to be disciplined. So yeah, I'm working on just doing one thing at a time, not flitting between this, that, and that. I think I'm succeeding at that. I think I'm doing all right. Yeah, I'm being consistent.
You are.
I'm being consistent in that way. So yeah, that's where I'm at, babes. That's where I'm at.
Okay. So in terms of like, talk about the mentoring that you do.
Okay, yeah. So
obviously we've got a few stuff coming up here as well.
We do little projects.
We've got a lot of projects. But talk to us about your mentoring, you personally. What you've done.
So generally, I mentor young girls and women. I'm also a director of an organisation called Womanhood Academy. So with that, we mentor 8 to 25-year-olds, take them under our wing, and just kind of empower and coach them through everyday life situations, and just let them know, like, we are your extended family. You know, you're not by yourself in this. You know, we talk about a village and all of these things. Yes. I just feel like in today's community and society, we don't have much of a village as much as we used to. And I've realised the power of saying to someone, you're not alone, you know. Yeah. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. Do you know what I mean? I've realised that's powerful in itself. 100%. That means so much to let someone know, a young person, a parent, to know, do you know what, we're rocking with you. I've been through that. And I know I know what you feel. Do you know what I mean? You're not on your own. You can call me, you know. That's a big deal. That's it. And anyone could do it. Literally anyone could do it. You don't have to be a mentor and have the training that I've had, etc., etc. You can just reach out to a young person. I find in society these days, a lot of adults are scared of young people. And yeah, they are. But it's just like, if you're not gonna speak to them and reach out to them and find a way to relate to them, who will? And why would they, you know, respect you or want to be around you? Or, you know, the kids need us.
In terms of like young women, I think that's really important, especially with how like social media is going on at the moment.
Yeah.
A lot of young women are put under so much pressure, you know, in terms of like how to look, how to speak. I'm telling you. You know, I was talking to someone the other day and she was like, I'm on a break from Instagram and I had to come off it because I keep looking at what other girls are doing. Right. Obviously for guys it's difficult as well sometimes, but especially for women because mainly of like, you know, the imagery of it, isn't it?
The pressures of it, yeah.
So having to speak to someone and just be like, listen, you know, I think that's so important.
Yeah, it is definitely.
How do men of today support and help situations like that or things like that?
Do you know what? Right, so there are a lot of fatherless homes, whether people like to admit that or not, because I notice when I speak to some men, they'll say, oh no, there isn't. There's a rise in this, and they'll bring statistics and this, that, and other. But I'm on the ground, like I'm not making it up. I'm not saying it because I want to be controversial. I'm saying it because I've noticed there's a need, and it kind of brings me full circle to a topic that I was on, Cozy Chats, big up Cozy Chats, and I was speaking about men and women being friends. Can they actually be friends? Yeah.
Yes.
And
talking about that.
Genuine friends. And an issue that I had, and I'm gonna lick your point, I promise you. Yeah, I promise you. Gonna bring it around full circle. But I feel like some men have an issue with separating a woman's sexuality before her humanity. So instead of seeing her as a human being first, they see her as a sexy woman that I'd like to have some type of relation with, Instead of he's smiling.
I'm gonna say right now,
you can say this ain't dirty debates. Yeah. So basically, I feel like men can, instead of looking at a woman and thinking, okay, that's a beautiful lady. I want to do something with her. Oh, she's not interested in doing anything with me. She says she's on a healing journey. She's come out of a couple of bad relationships, but she's got 2 kids. She's struggling with them a little bit. She doesn't have a support network. Do you know what? Because I can't get anything from her. Like, I'm gonna delete her number and just keep it pushing. I'd say instead of that, look at her as a human being, look at her as somebody in the community, look at her as somebody valuable, and say, how can I affect this woman's life?
The debate's fighting me right now. The debate's in me right now.
I'm gonna land before you bury me, right? All right. So how can I affect this woman's life and her children's life in a positive way? Because ultimately we look at men as protectors and providers, not just in their homes, but in their communities, yeah? What I do anyway, in their communities, I know that, you know, there's been certain times where I've had issues. I remember one time someone crashed into my car. I was with my daughter, she was very young at the time, jumped out, and my battery was dead, and I was so distressed. I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is just disastrous. And a guy just came, and there was 2 of them, and he was like, come, use my phone, put your little one in my car, blah, blah. That's how I know, that's to me how I know men to be, and how men should behave and how men should act. You don't need to know me to, you know, defend me, protect me, you know, make sure I'm okay. You don't need to know me. That's how I've grown in my community, you know, and my values that my family have instilled in me, right? And vice versa. I don't need to know a man to be like, are you all right, my bro? Like, is everything good? Like, you could be sitting here like right now like this. I could come in here, see you with your hand on. Are you okay? Is everything all right? Yeah. How's your day been? Do you understand? That's me. T knows. That's me. Do you know what I mean? Genuinely. And I feel like before I look at you and think, oh, is he handsome? Can I talk to? I'm seeing you as a human being first.
Yeah, that's a rarity, unfortunately, sweetie. Generally, that's not a thing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, generally, we know that's not a thing.
We know.
What?
Do we?
Explain.
Yeah.
It's not, especially for men, realistically. If we're walking into a room as a single man, and you walk into a room and see an attractive woman or whatever else it is, automatically you're hoping she's single too. More time than not. I'm not saying for every man, depending on where he's at. If he's happy and content where he is, 9 times out of 10, that's not the case. Man are looking if you have more time than not. Stop me and tell me I'm chatting shit if I'm chatting shit. Stop me and tell me I'm chatting shit if I'm chatting shit. I'm not. But again, 9 times out of 10, if a man walks into a room and sees an attractive woman or whatever else it is, I'm not saying that every man's automatically thinking about sex, but he's hoping to connect with her in some capacity. Now, if the woman then says that she's on her spiritual journey or whichever else it is, which doesn't look like it includes him in her picture.
Him between her thighs.
Not necessarily that,
Yeah.
not necessarily that, but in regards to him being a part, how do I make myself a part of this? If you're saying that you're on your spiritual journey and you're healing, whichever else it is, because of stuff you've been through in regards to trauma and whichever else it is, these are all buzzwords for a man to run in the opposite direction.
Why? Is he perfect?
No, he's not perfect, but in the same time, in our age group, should I say, as grown people, I don't really think that, I'm going to speak on behalf of men, I don't really see a lot of men in spaces where they're willing to take a woman out of that space where she's been through all this trauma and all this stuff, and I'm going to build her up to the space of, a lot of people today, men and women, want somebody who's already built, to be honest with you. This building together thing, to be honest with you, is a bit 70s, 80s, 90s, whatever else it is. It's a rarity.
That's why everyone's suicidal. That's why everyone's killing themselves.
We love it.
It's not a thing at all. But really and truly, if you look at what's going on social media and whatever else it is, people want stuff that is already, I can connect with this person that's doing well and we can somewhat
Is that
flourish.
realistic, Dirty?
Is it realistic?
In this day and age.
Is it
What,
realistic just generally for somebody to be ready-made where you want them to be? Is that
This
realistic?
day and age.
Do you know what? I believe it's more realistic than it was, to be honest with you, in a weird way.
What now?
Emotionally, what are we talking about? Are we talking
what
about
emotion?
materialistic, financially, or
most people are not looking at emotional stability and blah 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 in this day and age. When most women, again, this is me as a man who hears it, yeah. The checklist doesn't necessarily consist of my emotional stability, and whichever else it is. There's a certain demographic of women who are looking for emotional stability and support and communication and whichever else it is. But most times you hear a bunch of women sitting and having a conversation about what they want in a man. It's he needs to be financially stable. He needs to not have X amount of roots and blah, 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 and whichever else it is. So these are the things that you somewhat hear. So if a man has got one ute, he don't really have too much qualms with his babe mother. He's got a job that's doing all right or whatever else it is. In this day and age, he's more likely to cut through than a man who's actually trying to do something with himself, the 9-to-5 guy who doesn't...
Cut through and get where on the trajectory of a successful relationship, because this is what we're speaking about, like longevity and healthy relationships and things that are going to
looking at
last.
goals,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And people are basing their goals on what seems like amazing stuff, to be honest with you. Nobody's really actually sitting here and saying to myself, is this my forever? Every flaw that this man has or this woman has, can I work with this? Because we're not trying to change nobody in 2022 as grown-ass people. Can I work with this? Can I build and help this person be a better person than they already are? It's not a job. When I say it's not a job, it's not supposed to be a burden in any capacity for me to connect with you and for us to build. You know what I mean? And in this day and age, people are looking for, well, if he can't take me to, or if she can't, then it's not for me.